What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to the repeat Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today, we've got some awesome topics for you guys in an already busy Monday, so let's go ahead and get right into it. 1.2 Switch update available. This is version 1.1. So 1.2 Switch recently received an update last week, which went under the radar. People didn't really talk about it. There wasn't a lot of news because it's 1.2 Switch. However, players can now download version 1.1. Now the new update adds one new thing to the game: the ability to capture video. Similar to games such as Super Mario Odyssey, you can hold the capture button and record up to 30 seconds of the previous footage in doing so. And I think 1.2 Switch might be those games that it's actually really somewhat useful, I guess, just because of the nature of the game. It seems such like a silly game, and you might want to share some of that online with your friends on Twitter or something like that. Now, the functionality will work if your Switch system is on firmware 4.0 or higher, so you have to make sure that you update your firmware on your Nintendo Switch in order to take advantage of this update on 1.2 Switch. So, are any of you guys actually still playing this game? I've played it a few times. I thought that it was very silly, kind of reminded me of like Game & Wario. Just not really much depth to it, kind of just quick and easy and kind of cool to play, like with maybe a family member every now and then or something, but not really anything that has substantial long-term value for a gamer like myself. But I can understand why it's popular, why it's sold over 1 million units, why people do like the game. I do like the, what's it called, like the shootout, the draw game. That game is actually somewhat fun, but it gets old like kind of quickly. You play it a few times and you're like, alright, well, that's that. So yeah, there's some other weird ones, like the baby rocket and all that, and I'm not going to show all this stuff because I don't want Nintendo to copyright claim it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know about this game. 1.2 Switch, what do you guys think about it? Do you still play it at this point? Will you be taking advantage of the capture feature? But I think the more important thing here is that the fact that Nintendo is rolling out those updates to include the capture feature into there. So that's really good. So hopefully they add more games to it, and more games are having the ability to add the capture feature. That's the biggest thing right now, is adding games that have the capture feature in addition to getting the software ready in order for it to be default for pretty much every game, or figuring out how you guys are going to be able to do that. So let me know what you guys think about this whole capture feature being added to 1.2 Switch. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, now moving on to the next article here. Sold Out CEO says there are opportunities for physical releases on Nintendo platforms, and he believes in the Nintendo Switch. So Team 17 recently announced a brand new partnership with Sold Out last week. The two sides are coming together in order to bring Overcooked, Worms WMD, and Yoku's Island Express to the Nintendo Switch. Now, games industry spoke with Sold Out CEO Gary Williams following the big news, and in his opinion, the Nintendo Switch has a lot of things going for it, and the notion out there that third-party games are struggling to sell on Nintendo platforms is a bit of an exaggeration in his opinion. Now, here's what he had to say to games industry. There are many companies who have managed to earn really good revenues through Nintendo hardware sales to consumers. When I worked for Imagineer in Japan, we made some very welcome revenues making SimCity, SNES. Many of us did well on the GameCube, Wii, and DS. The opportunities are there. Nintendo does not exclude you. It just asks you to up your game. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Now, Williams did admit that selling retail games on the Nintendo Switch can be tough, but he has faith that Team 17's games will sell well, and he believes Sold Out will be able to generate revenue from their new deal. Williams had this to say on the matter, quote, "The box retail model is a tough model on Nintendo Switch, so you need to feel pretty certain your title works before entering the market. Luckily for us, the Team 17 Switch releases are tried, tested, and proven on the Nintendo decks. Overcooked, for example, is a double BAFTA winning title and already successful on the Nintendo format. Sold Out is not in the business of vanity publishing. If we were not certain we would generate profits, we would not enter the Nintendo Switch box retail market. Nintendo simply delivers the platform's success, and it's up to third-party publishers to decide how best to either get on board or to watch the sales juggernaut leave the depot." So it's very interesting what he had to say there. It's like, hey, these third-party developers, and I know he's speaking from a different perspective here, but he is saying, hey, get on board. You want to make money with this system? That's fine. If you don't, then go somewhere else. Now, looking at Team 17, yes, they've had some success. Overcooked, the special edition, has been doing extremely well on the Nintendo Switch. It's pretty much in the top 10 every single week since it launched, and once they got that patch out there, it really started to make sure that it stabilized every single week. A box retail version is going to push the people who aren't willing to download it on the eShop in order to get that. So I think it's even going to make the game sell better and do better overall. So I do think that there is room for them to really go out there and publish, and it's good to see indie developers making these deals, partnering up and getting some of these games out there, because a lot of people want to have the physical cartridge. Obviously it's something that Nintendo fans really want, and I think that it's a good idea for them to team up in order to get this done. And Overcooked is a fantastic game. Worms is a fantastic franchise as well. So you're going with tried and true stuff here, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of success. So what do you guys think about Overcooked, Worms, and the other Team 17 titles coming physical to Nintendo Switch? Will you be picking up Overcooked or any of the other games? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the last article here, Grezzo, Nintendo's little, I would not say indie darling developer, but definitely one of Nintendo's main outside developers, are hiring to help make a legend in quotations, and they're seeking staff with Unreal Engine and Unity experience. So a few years ago, and shout outs to Nintendo Everything for an article, Grezzo put out a hiring notice and asked potential new employees, quote, "Would you like to make a legend with us?" Something very similar has recently happened on the company's website. Now the only difference now though is that there is a 2 tucked on the end to signify that this is different from the last time. Now Grezzo is always looking to bring on new staff in order to tackle big and better challenges like they've done before, and to jumpstart themselves into the HD development era. And this specifically mentions on a listing for the programmer position as far as HD experience. Now Grezzo would also like to hire those who have worked with the likes of Unreal Engine and Unity. So I think that kind of goes to show you something, especially with that Unreal Engine experience, 3D modeling and all of that. You need to have someone who's worked with those engines before, so it looks like they're making the jump to Nintendo Switch. Now, just if you don't know, Grezzo's handled a number of titles for Nintendo. Let's talk about this because their list is pretty impressive. They've done The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, both on the Nintendo 3DS, pretty much both the best versions of those games. And then earlier this year, Nintendo published the studio's original project, Ever Oasis, which is also a very good game as well. So these developers have a good track record of solid ports when they need to make a solid port of a game, adding in features, enhancing the visuals, and maximizing what that system can do, because Majora's Mask and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time look absolutely fantastic on the 3DS. They look great, especially with 3D on. And then if you look at Ever Oasis, that is a very good original IP from Grezzo, so shout outs to them for actually getting that made. So I think it's time to take that next step, and like I talked about before, Nintendo's going to have a lot of these companies that they can go to in order to make Nintendo Switch games. It doesn't have to be the biggest and baddest HD game out there. It could be an Ever Oasis 2. Heck, it can be a brand new line in the Ever Oasis. Maybe we see The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap remastered, or The Legend of Zelda 2. Remember Zelda 2, guys? Maybe that 2 is kind of snuck in there for that reason. I would love to see a completely remade Legend of Zelda 2 or Zelda 2 Link's Adventure. I would love to see that because I hated that game, but I think if you modernize it a little bit, you add some cool elements, some more RPG elements into the mix, because it was already trying to do that, I think that you can have something there. So a complete remaster, obviously not looking the way that it does, but doing things differently, I think I would be completely down for that. So what do you guys think Grezzo is working on when it comes to the Nintendo Switch? Because they're definitely looking for someone with HD. What are the possible games that you guys think Grezzo could be doing? This team has a lot of talent. They're always looking to add it in there, and I just think that Ever Oasis, I feel that just might be something that they can be doing. They're saying 2 maybe it is a remaster of Ever Oasis. Maybe they're bringing it over with way better graphics. Really, there's any way that this could go, to be honest. There's a lot of different ways that it can go. I'm just excited to see what they're doing next, because I actually have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. I have Ever Oasis. They're both fantastic games, and I've played a little bit of Majora's Mask 3D. It looks phenomenal. So hopefully they got something good for us, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts as far as what you guys think Grezzo is going to be working on based on their track record and history. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. It really helps us out. And also make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube sponsor page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to tournaments, Discord, voice chat, and so much more. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube Gaming Live. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next video. Peace.